This is verse 19 of the third chapter of the Gospel of John, continuing the conversation with Nicodemus. Jesus has driven home the point to him that the Son of Man, or the Son of God, Jesus didn't come into the world in order to hold the world up for moral judgment. It wasn't the purpose. The incarnation was, of course, a mission intending to provide redemption. He also makes it clear that people are already standing in a state of judgment. They're not in a neutral condition. They're already condemned, you might say, or already judged, because they've already put themselves in a disposition of resisting, hating that which God has provided. They are somewhat like those people in the Old Testament that Jesus alluded to earlier. When Moses lifted up the serpent on the pole, they were already, of course, bitten by snakes. They were already in a state of losing the battle. They were already feeling the effects of the judgment that had come against them. In that sense, there was already a state in which they were in great peril. The purpose of lifting up the serpent was not to further enhance the state of their judgment, but rather to give them a way out. Jesus, in a sense, is saying that's the condition of all of us. We've all fallen prey to the condition of being fallen, and the purpose for the Son of Man to be lifted up on that pole, the cross, would not be to further the state of judgment, but to give a way of escape. However, of course, there are those who will not appeal to that. They will not reach out for that benefit that's been provided, and they, of course, are going to remain in a state of being judged. God loved the world. He gave his only Son so that whoever believes on him would not perish, but those who refuse to believe are exposing themselves to that circumstance. Well, the conversation continues here. Haute, demonstrative pronoun, feminine, nominative, haute de, but this, esten, enclitic, from eimi, I am. This is the third person singular. This is he Christus. This is the judgment. We were indicating earlier that krino is the word that means I judge. This is the noun form of it, feminine noun. The Christus, we get the word crisis from this, means judgment. This is the judgment. Jesus says, hoti, that, tophos, the light, aleluthen. This is the perfect, third person singular, perfect active indicative of the word erchomai, I come. The light is come or has come and remains. It continues to have a present effect and a present expression in this world. So this is the judgment, that the light has come eis ton kosmon, into the world. The light has come, kai agape san, third person plural, aorist active indicative, hoi anthropoi, the men loved, agape san, rather, malon, adverb, indeclinable, superlative degree, they loved rather, to skotos, the darkness. The light came into the world, of course, the light is here, but people love darkness. Again, that's the point. The condemnation is not a situation of them being hopeless, because the light is there. That serpent was lifted up on the pole. It is evidently available. But people in their state of fallenness love darkness rather than tophos, the light. For, gar, postpositive, it was auton of them, ponera, evil, ta erga. The works of them were evil. The reason they loved the darkness rather than the light was precisely because they were plunged into a state of darkness. Their evil deeds caused them to prefer the darkness. The evil deeds done in the darkness, as it were, prevented them from availing themselves of the light that had been brought into their world and was made available to them as a means of escaping from the judgment under which they already found themselves exposed.